Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber. Thank you, vinyl community, for stopping by to check out what I listened to this week. And from my CD albums going into the collection, albums in the collection, and CDs in the collection. So we're going to get started. Like it said on the thumbnail, historical start to the week. Oh, a while back ago, I told you about that big group of records from this one guy in California. He didn't promise what was in it. I just said, well, I'm going to take a chance because the price was right. But one of the ones that was in it was this one here, the Ballad of JFK. 20 tracks on here, mostly various songs, but a couple poems and a few statements by a few people. I'm not sure why they put this together in 2016. Is that would have only been 37, 47, 53 years? Maybe it was there 50, but there's a lot of good information on the inside of here and some other stuff over here, pictures. And then on the back, there's the tracks. It's a compilation of 20 of the strangest and most affectionate and controversial themes. I was a senior in high school when this event happened, when JFK got assassinated. I remember it vividly. I remember when the priest came in and sent us all home. Yeah, I went to a Catholic high school, and this album took me back, brought me back to a lot of thoughts about the times and what went on and how people reacted and so forth. And not only the times, but over the years, the controversies that went on about this. You know, everybody has their right to have their own opinions. Uh, this was kind of a cool thing. They repeated this was the difference between Lincoln and Kennedy pennies. Okay, I mean, but then they listed all of the similarities between the two presidents, including their assassination. I had read that before, but I had not seen it for quite a while. So it was pretty cool to have this in here, you know. And had some coffee the morning I listened to this one, and it provided me with a thoughtful morning. And for their efforts and for the memories, I'm going to give it a G for the week. That was the Ballad of JFK by various artists. That's in the collection. You know, when you buy a set of albums and the guy says I can't tell you exactly what's in here and it's not in there, you taking a chance. This was all right. This was I didn't even show you the nice vinyl it was on. Nice red vinyl. Looks kind of orangish there. So it was a good start to the week. Got the mind working, took me back in time. All right. So the next thing we're going is another one from that same bunch of records. The first three are from it. This is a gallery. I don't remember what. Let me see if I can see what year that was. I don't even have a note on that. 1973. This is gallery featuring Jim Gold. It's the only thing I have in the collection by Jim Gold or the gallery. When I looked it up, there isn't too much out there to see. It's an American soft rock band formed in Detroit by Jim Gold. This was the inner, which of course I don't use anymore. It says pleasure from the Buddha group. Although when I was checking up on this I didn't know anything about the gallery or Jim Gold, so I had to do some research. Found out that Jim Gold had a few hit songs throughout the early 70s, but none of them are on this album. Looks like that, and it looks like Jim Gold or the gallery only had two albums. album had a nice upbeat tempo and opened with the fun-loving song titled Friends. So, they also did Maybe Baby, a cricket song. It took me back a little bit in time. And overall, a nice addition to the collection. I mean, the I would have to try to search if I really wanted to search for a new uh, cover because it's got splitting on the top, as you can see, and a lot of wear and ring wear. But like I said, it's a nice album's a nice addition to the collection, and I'm going to give it a G also. Don't know if I'm in a kind mood this week or not. What's going on here? So we were through two of them. Take a second there, go down there and hit that like button. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel. Let's help it grow. There's so many music lovers out there, and I just cannot get them to my channel. Maybe it's my presentation, or else they don't like an old man, or maybe I don't go into enough detail. I don't know what it is. Let me know what you think. Okay, this next one is a 2007 from that same collection. And you remember when I told you that a while back ago that I wanted to get more punk into the collection? Well, this is a punk one. And it's from 2007. It's called Tipper's Gore. Only thing in the collection I got by Tipper's Gore. And truthfully, I wouldn't mind if it wasn't in the collection. Yeah, I want more punk. But I'll talk. Yeah. When you get those big collections, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's hardly anything written. I tried to do my research. There's hardly anything written about this group or this album. It's listed as hardcore and punk on Discogs. And really, like I said, I know I wanted some more punk, but not like this. It was totally, I could not understand a single word this guy was singing. And so it's not for me. When I'm talking about punk, I want to talk about the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, the Clash, and that type of music and that. And so, according to Discogs, 210 people have this album. All I can say is that for me, it will never hit my turntable again. Production and the labels look nice. The album cover looks nice. But again, can't judge a book by its cover, can you? And, this guy's voice. I'm giving this a pour for this week, a big capital P. And I don't remember ever giving a P to any album that's in my collection. Maybe this is the start. Maybe I'm getting more honest. There was 2007, Tipper's Gore. Well, crazy, huh? Okay, we're going to be going to the next one here. This was a record store day pickup. It's a 2025 reissue, the 1979 release, Curtis, by Curtis Mayfield. Nice album cover, look at it. Couldn't save the hype sticker. Let's say we're going to do this two ways. We're going to do it this way. Maybe it's a one way. It is one way. I'll show you the back again. It's the only thing I have by Curtis Mayfield in my collection. And then Doing a little bit of research, it says the musical styles of Curtis moved further away from the pop soul sounds of Mayfield's previous group, the Impressions. I don't have nothing but Impressions, which fits funk and psychedelic. I might like that, you know. The album covers political and social concerns of the time. I don't think there was an inner. No inner. Oh, Bill, be careful. I didn't drop it on the floor, so no damage to the album. This album sold well at the time, charting at #1 in the Billboard's Black Albums for 5 consecutive weeks. And number 13, 19 on the Billboard Pop Albums chart. I'm not sure what I expected when I played this. I was thinking I was going to get a little bit more funk. It has a little bit of funk and soul, but I was hoping for a little bit more funk because I do kind of like funk and disco in that more than that. But overall, it was good. You know, Curtis did a good job with this one. So for this one here, I'm going to give it a G+ for the week. That was the Curtis Records 2025 Record Store Day reissue of the 1979 album. 1970 album, not 79, 70. All right. Time to get a couple CDs out of the collections. First one we got was number 179. And it is the 1994 album by Eric Clapton, From the Cradle. I have 7 LPs, 15 CDs, and a 4 CD box set of my collection from Eric Clapton. Seen him twice in concert. Yeah, I do like Eric. Like his guitar. I don't know if I held that long enough so you could see the tracks. This was his 12th solo studio album. It's all blues cover album, and I don't mind cover songs. I've said that before. You know, a lot of those cover songs I have never even heard before, but I like them. And this was a follow-up to the successful 1992 live album, Unplugged. It is his only UK #1 album as of that date. There's Eric. A lot younger than he is now, huh? The album won Clapton the 1995 Grammy Award for the Best Traditional Blues Album. He also received a nomination for Album of the Year. He didn't win that one, but he did get nominated. Somebody asked me how come I didn't do the top 25 CDs of the year. It's coming. Just can't get around everything. All right. I don't know the significance of the three dogs. Anybody knows the significance of it? Put it in the remarks. Let me know what it is. So, you know, being a blues and a big Clapton fan, I'm going VG+ on this album this week. And this is the 1994 album by Eric Clapton, From the Cradle. Good stuff. All right, we got another CD to go. This is a 1993 album by Ace of Base, titled The Sign. It's the only thing I have in the collection by Ace of Base. This was their second album released. It was their second album released, and it was the debut album in North America and some Latin American countries by Arista Records. The Sign is listed among the top 100 best-selling albums of all time by the record industry, with sales exceeding 21 million. It was ranked top 3 on the Billboard 200 chart for 26 consecutive weeks. The album and a single on the same name are the only single in the album by a Swedish act to rank number 1 on the Billboard's annual overall year-end list. You know, being an electronic dance pop album, I can understand why it was so popular and everything. Just not for me. I don't know why I bought it. I normally have a reason why I buy all of these things like this, not the whatnot stuff, the bundle, unless I specifically bid on it. But anyway, you know, I do like, you know, dance music and everything, but to me, the music, I'm trying to think, my mind's gone on me, and the tempo and the music was too repetitive within each song for me to really, really like it a lot. But I did like it, you know, but not a lot. Okay, here's the Ace of Base. We're giving you a G plus for the week. But it's the only thing I will not be hunting anymore for them. So that was Ace of Base, this album The Sign from 1993, which was number 180, if you're wondering where we are in the collection, right there. Something's not in there, right? Oh, yeah, I see it now. Okay. All right, so last thing of the week is where we pull out an album that's already in the collection. And we have reached number 100, moving up there. I've really done this for 100 weeks. Wow. This one is 1978 album Pyramid by the Alan Parsons Project. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I am a big fan of Alan Parsons Project. I've seen him 3 times, as recently as the year before last. I have 17 LPs and 4 CDs in my collection by Alan Parsons, or the Alan Parsons Project, whichever name he happened to go by at the time. There's no inner on this one, but I'll show you the tracks again. And the lyrics. This was the 3rd album by the progressive rock band, the Alan Parsons Project. I was 1978. I was living in Belgium at the time, and I became aware of them, and that's when it took off with me. They took off. You know, I immediately got the first and the second albums and picked this one up, and so my liking of Alan Parsons goes back to actually pretty close to his beginning. He's a great engineer. Check his history. He's been associated with Pink Floyd and the Beatles, their albums. Al Stewart. He's got quite a history of producing or engineering albums. I guess this big one is The Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, he did that. This is a concept album centered on the pyramids of Giza, Giza, Giza. I don't know whichever is correct. But anyway, at the time the album was conceived, interest in pyramid power, and I'm going to pronounce this, but I pronounce it probably wrong. It's Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun. And the interest in this was widespread in the United States and in the UK. What is Tutankhamun? Well, I looked it up and I already forgot what it is. So, see what happens when you get old. If I don't make notes, man, things go away within half hour after I do them or schedule them. This charted in the top 50 in 11 different countries, and in my top 50 at the time. I liked the album a lot. The only distraction I had was a slight popping on side two. And I don't understand what was happening there. So I'm going to put it back into my spin clean queue again. But I'm still going to give it VG for the week. Yeah, VG. All right, I'm going to pick out the two that I had the most fun with this week, that I liked the most. And I don't know if I'll be doing a ranking at the end of this year or not. I'm still thinking about, the chaos I put myself into last year and how to handle that. So anyway, the first one that I'm going to pick is From the Cradle by Eric Clapton, the 1993 or 1994 album. Really, it's a blues cover album, really good, really good. And then the second one I'm going to pick is Pyramid, the one we just looked at by the Alan Parsons Project. And that is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave some comments down there. Bill Thornton saying, take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.